Shalom. Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off, of course, give all honor and glory, infinite praise and worship to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honors to our apostles and our elders, a great millstone who will teach you in sound doctrine. Shalom to the hopeful elect and the rest of the large multitude of men, women, and children. But the Lord will have mercy on these last days. Excuse me. It's your brother HaqaDash coming back with a quick, well, not a quick, but we're going to go through this chapter. Psalm 73 through the Spirit and power, YAHWASHI, verses 1 until about like 12. All right. So Lord willing is edifying to the elect. You know, again, double honor to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who will teach you in sound doctrine. Right. What we're going to find out is, matter of fact, let me start off with this. All right. So what we're going to find out is that the people that run the world, all right, they're set up for their destruction. All right. Let's just put it like that, which we all know, we should know. The wicked of the world, the ones who rule the world, the elites, they're set up for their own destruction. Their tongue shall fall upon them. Okay. But in the process of the setup, you know, their own minds are deceived because, you know, matter of fact, let me go here real quick before we read that quote by RAWCHAA. Genesis 27. All right. It says, it's Genesis 27:38. And Esau said unto his fathers, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So Yahawashi, which is Isaac, blessed Esau with the fatness of the earth as well as Jacob. But the difference is that one's going to be a carnal blessing and one is going to be a spiritual blessing that's going to lead into a physical blessing. All right. The one that has a physical blessing first is going to lead into a spiritual death, which is meaning he's never going to exist again. His spirit is going to be mingled amongst the other nations. All right. And his rulership is going to be an end, versus the spiritual aspect of everything that's going to manifest itself to the physical is a kingdom that's never going to end, because it's coming from the spiritual, it's coming from the heavenly realm onto the physical plane. All right. It's going to manifest itself that way with a new atmosphere. All right. But the ones that's in rulership and power, all right, are the wicked. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right. And by thy sword shalt thou live. And we're going to read this Psalm 73 and how he's able to be in a position that he's in, man. All right. Psalm 73. And let's go to this quote real quick. Now, this is a quote by RAWCHAA. It says, I hate that. I still don't know how to make this big. I hate that they do it like this now, bro. But anyways, Lord willing, y'all can see this. It says, let's read this one first. Let me issue and control a nation's money, and I care not who writes his laws. Obviously, this quote has been written and rewritten different ways, but you get the gist of it. Let me issue and control the nation's money. All right, because you have one that says, I give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who writes his laws. Which little do you know, and what we're gonna find out is that Esau does both. You know, he does both. He writes the laws and he controls the money. All right, check this out. Another quote by my what is this, Nathan Rothschild. It says, "I care not what puppet is placed upon the throne of England to rule the empire on which the sun never sets." All right. It says the man who controls Britain's money supply controls the British Empire, and I control the British money supply. You see? So these devils are the ones these elite bankers are the ones who control the money. So if you control the finances, the wealth, okay? And I'm talking about true wealth, all right? They control true wealth, which is why they're able to issue in something called a banknote or a RFN or a Federal Reserve note or, this is why they're able to do that because they control real wealth. They control gold and silver. They control cattle and sheep. Okay, they control land and oil and people. They control real wealth. You know, they run real wealth. They're trillionaires. I think like I brought it up before. It says don't quote me on it. I'm not gonna get it, but you can look it up. But it takes about 100 lifetimes or so to spend $1 trillion, man, and they're worth trillions. You know, so they would, so they'll never go broke. But it says, little do they know. But let's see what else. It was another one. It says all wars are banker wars. All right. And shalom to everybody tuning in. All right. All wars are banker wars. All right. It says Meyer Amschel Rothschild. It says American and British intelligence have documented evidence that the House of Rothschild and other international bankers have financed both sides of every war since the American Revolution. Here you have it. The mother, I think, the mother of Rothschilds said, "If my sons did not want war, there would be none." So this is who you're playing with. This is the nigga that runs the world. This is the nigga who has the influence on the people. This is Psalm 73 and verse 1. Now this is Psalm Asaph. "Truly the Most High is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped." All right. It says, "For I was envious at the foolish. I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked." Because you look at society and you see society low and decrepit, if that's the right word, and deranged, but you see also people that have no care, that have no worries, man. I was door dashing one day and I went through this neighborhood, man. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker they could have tipped me $200 plus if they wanted to. Cause the neighborhood I'm living in is nothing but gigantic, man. Gigantic houses neighborhood I've never been in or didn't even knew existed, you know. But I'm riding through this neighborhood. It's literally like its own little world, man. Like, you have gated communities, but this was different. Like, in order to get to this person's house, I had to go through this whole complete maze, man, of other people's houses that's all connected into this one street. It's like, man, it's crazy, man. But anyways, as I'm riding through these neighborhoods, I'm looking like, damn, these people really have no worries. Like, they don't even probably even know it's a pandemic, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people mindsets is completely different from ours, man. They don't have the crab in a bucket mindset, man. So we might find ourselves, a little envious of their prosperity because they have no care in the world, man. They don't have to. They wake up when they want. They don't have to worry about uh putting another person down just to get a top, man. You see, and this is the mindset of the wicked that's in rulership because they're in prosperity. They're prosperous right now because they have the fountains of the earth. But And so who's the foolish? Huh? I'm gonna use this tab for the for precepts. Let's stay in Psalms. Let's get Psalms 14:1. Psalm of David. The fool have said in his heart, there is no power. All right. There is no power. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. You see? And so the fool have said in his heart, there's no power. And who have said this? Edom, man, as we're going to continue to bring out, Lord willing. You know, so Edom have said there's no power. Okay, he said he's the power. He sitteth amongst the congregation of the north, amongst the stars of heaven, and he said he said amongst the congregation of of Israel. He said above Israel, and he said what it say in Thessalonians? He sitteth upon the seat of God, upon power, exalting himself as power and above power. You know, the fool has said in his heart that there is no power. So if the fool is thinking like this, therefore we're not to be envious of this man, because we know that anyone that's exalting himself above the maker is going to perish, man. When I saw the prosperity of the wicked. So because we're at a low point in life, therefore we might look at things in this world like, damn, man, we get zealous and we get we get anxious. You know, that's why we hasten the day of the Lord, so he can give us those blessings, man. The difference is, like I said in the beginning, is that our blessing is never going to end. Imagine that. See, that's why they're continue to be uh, uh, um, to heighten their wickedness, is because they know that theirs is coming to an end. They get all old and look how you ever seen an old Edomite, man? They look scary as hell, man. You know, they look terrible. You know, they get old. See, we're not gonna get old. It says, verse 4, Psalm 73:4, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. You see? It says, but their strength is firm. Matter of fact, let me get one more real quick with that. Let me read this again. Verse 3. Psalm 73, because there's another one came up. So, Psalm 73:3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Real quick, let me get that Job. Job 21. I think. Yeah, Job 21. We're gonna go straight to the point. I'm gonna read it down a little bit. Because I said they get old, right? But like the scriptures say, it says, I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked, for there is no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. You see, because it says this is Job 21:7. It says, wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yea, are mighty in power. You see, because these people, they get old, and they have no care. They still have no care for the world. They have no worries. They get old, and then they're still in power. They get older, and their riches never run out. They get old and still be doing things, and like because it's like we're young, but we're old because our bodies have to do so much, and we have to. We're forced to be older than we are at a younger age versus Esau and his rulership. He can be old but still have might and power. Okay. It says their seed is established in their sight with them and their offspring before their eyes. Right. And they train up their children and they show their children how to continue to establish wealth. All right. You remember that movie where it was supposed to be the Rothschild's father and he was on his deathbed and all the children were surrounded around him and he was telling them how to take the banks and all that and how to rule the world, etc. You know, so their seed is established in their sight with them and their offspring before their eyes. That's why Isaiah 14 says that we must prepare a slaughter for his children, that they do not rise and take the cities and build up the cities. Because yeah, they can get old, but they know that they train their children up to continue in the same mindset. You see, so if we don't take away the children and the seed, the offspring, Therefore, the cycle will continue. You see? So they train up their children to continue in their wealth. That's why she said this. She said, my sons did not want war, there will be none. Why she said they're her sons? Because her sons is continuing in the mindset of their forefathers. It says it's like Job 21 and verse 8 again. Their seed is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of Yahawah upon them. Because they don't know the judgments of the Lord, because they're not of the Lord. They, you know what I'm saying? The heathen don't know the judgments of the Lord. That's why we get chastised like we do. The ones that don't get chastised are not a son. They're a bastard. As the scriptures say. It says they're read that again. Their houses are safe from fear, because like again, it made me think about when I was in those neighborhoods, man. You know, those rich neighborhoods, door dashing and dropping their food off. Punk gonna tip me $3. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even got blinds on your windows because your houses are safe from fear. You don't have to worry about a nigga coming in your house. You know what I'm saying? And you know, taking everything you own and killing you or whatever. You don't gotta worry about that. You know, your own people in your neighborhood. You don't gotta worry about that. But we do. You know, you go around Jake neighborhoods, you see those steel doors on the front door, so that Jake can't kick the door in. You know, on a windows. If you go a little upper in areas, you see, you might see every other house like that, but you still see security cameras all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Because Jake have to live in doubt and fear. They have to live worrying about their neighbors and worrying about the next man. That's why Jake is always on edge, man, and always hostile. You know, they always hostile and they always angry, which is good because these devils put you down, rape, rob, and murder you, man. And they got the nerve to be mad at you when you mad. They kill you, take your resources. That's the only reason why they're rich and wealthy, as we're gonna get, Lord willing. And then get mad at you when you try to uprise and you try to establish something, and then you try to, and they look at you funny when you come into the neighborhoods when you got some type of, like, these niggas is some, they're evil, man. They're wicked, man. So it says their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of the Most High upon them. The judgment of the Lord, but the Lord is saving that judgment for one great day, one great day of the Lord, where judgment is going to come on the earth, which Esau is going to receive that judgment, not as a chastisement as a son, but as a chastisement as you know, for the things he have accomplished on the earth, which is wickedness. All right, because the chastising of a son is with love. You know, the Lord don't love. He said, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. It says their bull gendereth and faileth not. It says their cow calveth and casteth not their calf. They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. You see, they don't have no worries, and they have no nothing to worry about in this society, man, because they're good. You know, I'll be looking at some of these social media videos that just randomly pop up. You look at these TikTok stars that become famous and stuff. They have nothing else to do but become a TikTok star. You know, they have these houses and they have nothing to do but be wealthy, man. It says they take the timbrel and harp and rejoice at the sound of the organ. They spend their days in wealth and in a moment go down to the grave. So they spend their days in wealth, man. They spend their days in wealth, like it just said. Before, I was envy at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm, man. But their strength is firm. Matter of fact, one more with that. You go to Psalms 49. This is Psalms 49. Go straight to the point. 11. Their inward thought is that their houses should continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. See, so they think their house is going to dwell forever. from generation to generation. They go out and try to go into Mars and all these different planets, and they try to go into the ocean and underground, and they're trying to establish all these different barriers and all these different platforms for themselves. They're not doing it for so you can take a piece of it. Because if they was doing it for you, they would be doing it now. But they're not doing it for you. That's why they have something called the Georgia Guidestones. You know, telling you what their plan is. That's why I said there is no bands in their death. You see, but their strength is firm. You see, because they think that their house is going to dwell forever and continue from generation, because they're seeing themselves never falling. The wicked have said in his heart, you know, who shall bring me down? Like it says in Obadiah, they exalt themselves as the eagle. Their strength is firm, man. It says they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasses them about as a chain, violence cover them as a garment, right? Because the Lord said in Ecclesiastes in 11, let me see, start at 9. All this have I seen and applied my heart unto every work that is done under the sun. There is a time wherein one man ruleth over another to his own hurt. And I saw the wicked buried, who had come and gone from the place of the holy, and they were forgotten in the city where they had so done. This is also vanity, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. You see, though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. So, but it says, but it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, a vapor, a mist, a dream, because he feareth not before the Most High. And this devil don't fear the Most High, man. He don't fear the Most High. That's why it says their pride. It says they don't get in trouble and plague like other men, right? That's why we just read Ecclesiastes 8. So their heart get colder and colder. That's all by design from the YAHWASHI, the Most High, and his dear Son. It says therefore, therefore, right? So because therefore pride compasses them about as a chain, right? So they're locked unto the pride. Their a chain has a shackle, a yoke around their neck. You know, they're one with pride. Violence covers them as a garment. So therefore, because they are not being judged for their actions, become more prideful, and they say God is with them, power is with them. You see, so violence covers them as a garment, meaning that that's their makeup. He says in Malachi 1, I have 1:1, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said the Lord. Yet ye say, where hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, said the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished. Right? Let's see what that word impoverished say. See if we can get that real quick. How you do this? Let's see if we can get that. Impoverished. It says impoverished, made poor. It says, right, because the Lord shut them up for a period of time, for 1,000 years, for a little season, and he was released. Like it says in Revelations 20, it says, we are impoverished, but we will return. That's what the Renaissance was, the rebirth. But we will return and build the desolate places. And how do they build? How did they build? By what? Slaves. By slaves, man. Like it says in Revelations 18, souls of men. Okay. They built this place up by having people in captivity, you know, and they took the resources and the riches that was in place, and then they took it from people, like it says all throughout the Bible, literally, and then they placed themselves in that stead, and then made those people that they stripped the resources from build up their form of society. So they returned and built the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of armies, Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. So they're the border of wickedness. They're the start and the end of wickedness. A border is literally the start. A border, like you got a border, like, all right, just think about the border of America separating from Mexico, right? So a border, right, is the start of another country or a start of another state, and it's also an end of a current state, which is America. So you go to the you go to the border. That's the end where America ends, and it starts another state, and then the border from that state's eye view is the start of its state. So Esau is the border of wickedness. He's the beginning and end of wickedness. All right, he's the spirit that was in the garden. You know, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever, meaning righteous anger, hatred, you know, and your eyes shall see, and ye shall say the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel. So the Lord is magnified from Israel's border, because Esau's border is the borderness of wickedness, you know, and the Lord said that his eyes is too pure to behold evil, man. So therefore the Lord would never look upon you, Esau, even though he gave you the blessing, because you come from Isaac, man. So he blessed his sons, you know, just like Abraham, you know, and all and so forth. You know, you have some type of blessings to some type of degree, but the blessing that you receive is a carnal blessing. That's how much the Lord think of you, you know. But anyways, it says, where was I at? Verse Psalm 73:6. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Yeah, because one more. Psalms. No, not Psalms. Isaiah, Slacky. Isaiah 26. Isaiah 26:10. It says, let favor be showed to the wicked, right? Blessed, right? For the fountains of the earth. Yet will he not learn righteousness. It doesn't matter how much you bless an Edomite, all right? That's a cut. Even if the Lord allowed the Edomites into the sanctuary, because they're profane, meaning outside of the sanctuary, right? But even if the Lord allowed them to dwell, all right, with Jacob in the kingdom, it doesn't matter. They will never learn righteousness. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. And the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. You see, that's why the Lord said in Psalms 50, what is thou to take my covenant in thy mouth? Why hast thou taken my covenant in thy mouth? You see, because they can't uphold to the ways of the Lord, but therefore they're portraying to be the people and uphold to the ways of the Lord. Therefore, they got to do the things that the Lord said, but they're not. That's another reason why the judgment is going to be even greater. You know, this is Psalm 73:6 again. It says, therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain, right? That yoke of unrighteousness. Violence covereth them as a garment. You see? So that's all they know. That's all they know. It says, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than a heart could wish. They are corrupt. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. Let's get this word lawfully real quick. We have 30 minutes.
Strong's H 4791. Marom.
Marom, right? They speak lawfully, height, elevation, elevated place, proudly, right? Of nobles. It says consecrately, an elevated place, abstractly elevation for me. It says far above dignity, haughty height, right? Most on high, one place, lofty, upward. You see, proudly. So it says again, it says, go back up. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. So they look down upon the poor. You see, they look down upon the poor. They speak lawfully. They speak high. They're proud. You see, they don't care about oppression. They're a defrauder of blood, and so is Jake, man, because Jake is in the mindset of Esau. They have to move like an Edomite just to survive. Ain't that crazy? Jake is moving like the minds. They're moving in the mind of an Edomite, but they're not prospering from the mind of the Edomite because the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked. The mindset of an Edomite, even though he's prospering, it brings death. So when Jake tried to walk in the mindset of the Edomite, he destroys himself because it's not for him. It's for Esau. That's why Esau prospered in his mindset. Jake don't prosper in the mindset of Esau. They die. This is to show you that real quick. This is Sirach 34:21. It says, the bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood. And that's Esau. He that taketh away his neighbor's living, and Jake, right? They're going to their neighbor's house and rob him and whatever, slayeth him. And he that defraudeth the labor of his hire is a blood shedder. You see? It says, when one buildeth and another pulleth down, what profit have they then but labor? See, so the needy, the bread of the needy is their life. It says it right here, man. It says they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. They speak proud that they're on top and we're on at the bottom. You see? See, Jake not gonna do that in the kingdom, man. It's gonna be balance and righteousness. Therefore, it says Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked they're ruled, the people mourn. You see, as the king as the people are as the king, right? The society is the result of the ones that's ruling. So we're not going to speak down on oppression. We're not going to speak down on things that are low. You know, it says, oh, matter of fact, let me get one precept with that. Isaiah 47. Isaiah 47:10, it says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. You see, they speak proud and they trust in the way they move. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Right? Because the Lord hasn't judged they as yet. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, right? It hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, there I am, and none else besides me. And that's how they think. That's how they think. You see? And that's how the elites move. Why? Because they speak lawfully, proudful. You know, they speak high-minded, high, upward. It says they set their mouth against the heavens. You see, we just read it. We just read it. We just read it. It says they speak high against the heavens, also against the Most High. They speak against the Most High, and they speak against his holy people, man. You see, it says, "I am, and none else besides me." That's him. He set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walking through the earth. You see, because How does his tongue walk on the earth? Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High. You see, that's him what? Setting his mouth against the heavens again, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, because we're connected to the Most High. So again, set their mouth against the heavens. He's sitting the congregation of the north and the stars of heaven, talking about Israel, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and dividing a time. He changed times and laws, man. Their tongue walketh through the earth. He speak lies. Matter of fact, Psalms 58. He speak lies, man. He's a defrauder. He's wicked. He's base. He's low. Psalms 58:3. The wicked, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. What? Speaking lies. And their tongue walketh through the earth. You see, they're against the Most High. They're not for him. They're against the people of the Most High. They're not for you. They're your enemies, man. The Lord said, I count them my enemies. Their tongue walketh through the earth. All right. What's another one? Isaiah 10. Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. That's their tongue going through the earth, right? Walking through the earth, speaking lies. Okay, saying that they're the chosen, saying that you are not nothing, saying that you're low, saying that you're unholy, saying that you're dirty and decayed and deaf and dingy, and saying that they're pure and righteous, saying that they look, that the Most High look like them, and that the angels and all the judges of the earth look like them, saying that this place will continue forever when it has an end. He's the Jacob is the beginning of the world. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. He saying these things and blaspheming the Father and the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, YAHWASHI and the Holy Spirit, and his, everything the Father has established, saying that the things that grow from the earth is not good enough for the body, but let's take it to the lab and let's alter it. And now it's better, saying that same person relations or same person ceremonies is okay, making it legal, making it that they can get vouchers and taking it to apartment complexes. And you know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga he gotta go, man. That's their tongue walking through the earth, his philosophies, his doctrines, his ways of life. The deaf culture. Black culture is Esau's culture. Black culture is deaf culture. Esau created that. Esau created that shit, man. So it says, Psalm 73:10, therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how did the Most High know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? You see? And that's what we was reading in Isaiah 47. I am. He's calling himself. He said he is. He am. You know? What was about to get this like here? Damn, what I was about to get? Oh, that's what I was Second Thessalonians 2, and it says, let no man deceive you by any means. Second Thessalonians 2 and 3. but that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and which happened to us, and that man of sin be revealed, so that the man of sin can be revealed, the son of perdition. We had to fall so the son of wickedness can be revealed, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called power. You see, it says, and they say, how do the Most High know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? It says, he exalted himself above all that is called power or that is worshipped, so that he as power sitteth in the temple of power, showing himself that he is power. You see? So that's why he like, how do the Most High know? Is there knowledge in the Most High? You see, because his pride has polluted him. It's like his pride he's have deceived him. You see, because as judgment wasn't executed, he's got more wicked. And that's why the serpent has grew into a dragon, because he came into a perfect version of himself, which is the perfect state of wickedness. That's why his sins has reached into the heavens. That's why judgment can be executed at that time. It says, behold, and that's why again we see these things. He speak like this, talking about if her sons did not want war, there would be none. No, if the Most High didn't want war, there would be none. You see? But on a carnal sense of things, that's true on a carnal sense of things. You see? Because why? The more wars in the world, the richer they get. You understand that, right? The more wars in the world, the richer they get. Look, matter of fact, let's get First Maccabees. Let me get close out. First Maccabees 1. First Maccabees 1:1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim and smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and Medes, right? That he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, right? Right. It says, it made many wars and won many strongholds, right? This talking about Alexander the Free. Made many wars. He's a what? Idumea. He's Idumea. He's Idumean, right? He's an Edomite. Esau. Esau is Edom, as the scriptures say. And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth and went through to the ends of the earth at the known world at the time, took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, right? He was exalted. He was at a high state. His feet touched not the ground, like it says in Daniel 8. Right? It says, right? I believe Daniel 8. Let's see if I check that. Daniel 7. No, Daniel 8. Oh shit, it's like it. Daniel 7. All right. So yeah, Daniel 7. Let's see. Salakia, Daniel 8. Salakia, I was right. Daniel 8. All right, so damn, I'm tripping right now. Let me see something. Right. All right. Yeah, Daniel 8. What I'm tripping on, bro. In verse 3. But one was higher than the other. It came up the last. That's talking about the Persians. Also, the round pushing westward and over right different directions. Egypt, and so forth. It says, yeah, but he did according to his will and became great. Talking about Alexander the Great. You know what I'm saying? And it says, And then he go, talking about Alexander came from the west on the face of the whole earth and touched not the ground. And then he go had noble horn between his eyes. Right. So he touched not the ground. You see, he touched not the ground. So that's what I wanted. That the earth was quiet before him because his feet touched not the ground. Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. You see that? And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. So, right, rape, rob, murder the lands, Job 24, okay? And then, and you take all the sheep and you make a man a slave unto you, his resources, and then make him build up your society based off the resources you stole from him, and he has to use those same resources to build your society and tear down his. And now he paid tributaries to you, and you tax him. You know, because why? She said it. War, war. The more wars in the world, the more wealthier he become. I guess we can close out with Job 24. Job 24. 1. Why seeing times are not hidden from the Almighty? Do they that know him not see his days? Some remove the landmarks. They violently take away flocks and feed thereof. Right? You're not supposed, the scripture tell you, I think it was in Proverbs, I believe. You're not supposed to remove the landmarks. It says, they drive away the ass of the fathers. They take away the widow's ox for a pledge. They turn the needy out of the way. Right? The bread of the needy is their life. All right? They prosper off the needy. All right? It says they turn in many ways. They strip you of different things, and then you got to come to them from all wants and needs. Right? They sit in a temple of power, or claiming to be power. They turn the needy out of the way. The poor of the earth hide themselves together. Behold, as the wild asses in the desert, go they forth to their work, rising betimes for a prey. The wilderness yielded food for them and for their children. They reap everyone his corn in the field, and they gather the vintage of the wicked. You see, building his society. They cause the naked to lodge without clothing, that they have no covering in the cold, and then they strip you bare, so that now you completely have nothing. You know, you have nothing to the point that you need him. They are wet with the showers of the mountains and embrace the rock for want of a shelter. They pluck the fatherless from the breast and take a pledge of the poor. You see, the bread of the needy is their life. They cause him to go naked without clothing, and they take away the sheaf from the hungry. Right now, they set laws and regulations to the point that you can't pay. They make it impossible to survive in a society. So now you become homeless and you become hungry. You know, now you become dependent. All right, on someone else other than the Most High, YAHAWASHI, and they take away the sheep from the hungry, which make an oil with their walls and tread their wine presses and suffer thirst. Because of a homeless man, you be like, damn, why this nigga just want to go get a job? But it's not that easy, because a lot of these jobs set it where the homeless won't. They set it out to where you become homeless, and then they set the laws where and the rules where they rig the rules where once you become homeless, you can't go even get another job, because they set it up where you have to have certain requirements. You see, and then they set traps and with snares. It was a trap. Then they set a trap where you get locked up, and then when you get out, you still can't find work. You see, to better yourself. So therefore, you have nothing to do but go resort back to your old ways and to slander your neighbor, slay your neighbor. You know, to try to get up in the society. You see, and that's why society moves like it moves, because why? It's the mindset of an Edomite, which make oil with their walls and tread the wine presses and suffer thirst. Men grown from out of the city, and the soul of the wounded cry out, yet the Most High live not folly to them. You see, they are those that rebel against the light. They know not the ways thereof, nor abide in the paths thereof. And it goes into the rest, man. So this is Esau, man. This is Esau. This is what Psalm 73 is about, man. You know, Psalm 73 and 12, behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. So, hey, his riches is going to come to naught, man. His riches is going to come to naught. His kingdom is going to come to naught. his platform, his society, his philosophies, his doctrine is going to come to naught, man. All right, so we have nothing to envy Akim or Aqua because it's going to come to an end. His rulership has a expiration date, if you will, man. Expiration date. Job 7:1. Is there not an appointed time to man upon earth? You see, so he has an appointed time. He has his time to rule, as the scriptures say it. Every man has a time and chance happening to them all, man. You know, well, the Lord has his days numbered, man. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm not gonna get no more. Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect lambs and sheep of YAHWASHI. Until next time, shalom.